In 2006.
14,
Wow, something's better than nothing.
16 years so far.
Probably 2006. I was around my cousin's house and we were talking about how shit life is. We all agree, like bad sometimes. And then we were sitting in his front room. And he's got one of these big screens with the projector. He was watching telly on that. Flicking through. We landed on this thing called Entrepreneur Channel. What's that all about? Let's watch. There's some guy on there, big American guy, Tony Robbins. Hey, you can do this, and blah blah. But then it cut off that. Yeah, what this guy's saying rings a bell with me. Me too. Maybe there's some truth in all this stuff. Well, I've brought in his house a few times in a row because we were busy working on another project, which is irrelevant together. Working on this project, we sat there. This guy called Zig Ziglar popped up. And he was saying lots of the same things. Hang on, there's two people saying similar things here, and they're both apparently very, very successful people. But what are we going to do? Interesting. So he said, I'm going to buy this Tony Robbins stuff. He bought a big DVD box set. Must have probably about 10 or 12 discs in it. DVDs or cases and the whole thing come out. They all did it from America, but delivered about 2 weeks later. Because he was very busy, he said to me, Jace, watch all that, let me know what it's all about. Oh, okay. And then he said to me, and when you finish that lot, watch this lot. I've then got about 15 or 20 discs. I'm busy, I can't watch all this stuff. So I put it on the shelf. And I left it at home. In the meantime, I was watching YouTube. A bit of Zig Ziglar here and a bit of Tony Robbins there. Maybe I should watch that plot. Maybe I should go through it, see what it's all about. Maybe not. One day, I decided to reach up and get that shelf, get it off the shelf. And it's called Get the Life You Want. Get the Life You Want, I'm sure it's called that. And there's another one called Something with Power. You bring it down now, push you through it. And I thought, okay, start off, this is interesting. Moving things through, watching that, watching it, listening to the two, right? I want to learn this more. So I've got an interest in NLP, this topic called NLP. I was working for a company that did software. Software for the vehicle recovery industry. So if you break down, they send the guy out to fix you and off they go. We did all the software for it. My job was to go and train the guys up, apart from write the software as well, which I did. One day, one of my directors walked in, holding a leaflet. Just a leaflet. I was near as big as this. So there's probably about that many pages in it. And he walked in, flicking through the pages. And I'm sitting there at my desk. So he walked in and went, have a look at that, see what you think. Do you want to do it? Well, all I could see was the front cover. And it said on it, NLP sales diploma. I said, yep, I want to do that. Yeah, ready yet? I said, I know, but it's about sales. You want to improve your sales in the company. I'm the man you've asked to do that. This is a sales course. And I've heard about NLP before. I'll do it. I'll read some more about it, I'll let you know whether today, confirm, but definitely I'll do it. Alright, I'll make some movements then. Let me know when today. Alright, boss. So we went away. I thought, yes, got a course, I can go on a course, learn NLP. This is going to be good stuff. So I read through it. Don't understand half this. I ain't got a clue. It sounds interesting. Learn to make more sales for the company. That can't be a bad thing. So the way they worked, they did 2 days, which was completely free. Didn't pay for day 1 and day 2. But if you wanted to get the diploma at the end of it, you had to pay for day 3 and day 4. So at the end of day 2, I saw the instructor and I said to him, how do I finish this course off? He said, well, what you've got to do is pay for the second half. You give him the price. I can't pay for that. He said, get your business to pay for it. You guys that sent you on the course in the first place. I said, well, I'll speak to him, see what he says. I went back. I said, "Good word." "Yeah, of course you can." So I sat down, I said, "Look, I want to do this course, I want to finish it off. I learned a lot on this first one." I said, "But there's lots left in this I want to learn." "Oh, interesting. I'll see what I can do." About a month later, he came back in with a bit of paper. And he said, "You're on that course. We're going to get you funding to do that course." I said, "Well, I forgot about it." "Oh yeah, brilliant, thank you. Excellent stuff." So I did the sales stuff like that. But then I thought, that's sales. What can I do else? What else can NLP do for me? How can I improve my life even further? And on the second day, literally this very second day of that course, I want to become a trainer of this stuff. I want to learn how to teach this. Because it's got so much value, it can benefit so many people as well, including myself. So what's the next step? Well, you'd already said on the course, the next step up from this is to do your practitioner course, and then your master practitioner, your trainer, and then finally, if you want to do everything, you can do master trainer. Okay, fair enough. Managed to find out what the cost of a practitioner course was. It was something in the region of £2,000. I haven't got £2,000 a course. What can I do? I'll use my sales skills to sell it to my boss. But there's no direct connection anymore between what they do and what this is going to give me. Is what I thought. How am I going to sell it to them? Then I thought, hang on a minute, every skill I learn I'm going to use for the company, of course they're going to benefit from it. Everything I learn they're going to gain benefit from, because I can do my organising, I can do my planning, I can do my training, I can do whatever I do better, much better. So I saw the boss, I said, I've got a question for that. He said, "Well," I said, "Well, you know I did that course about sales?" "Yeah." So I want to go further. They do a practitioner course. "How much is it?" I said, "Well, it's about £2,000. Well, we can't afford £2,000. I'm not paying you for £2,000. Well, how are we going to benefit from it?" I said, "Well, the skills I learn, you'll be using at work automatically anyway, because it's part of, you can't not learn it, you can't do it." "No, I'm not paying for that." So I had an idea. I won't give up at that point. I thought I'll use some flexibility, because you learn it when you're doing your diploma courses. Funny enough. So I said to him, "I'll tell you what, how about if you pay for the course and I pay for all the accommodation and all the travel there and back?" Still £2,000. Would have been like £3 or £4 if you paid for accommodation too, because it's about the same price. About £1,000 for the accommodation plus travelling there and back. He said, "Well, I can't see a benefit between here and now. I can't justify it." I said, "I'll tell you what, how about this? If you flip it over, you pay for my hotel, my accommodation, and it's the cheapest I can find, and my travel back and forwards. Cover that, and I'll pay for the course. You really want to do this, don't you?" "Yeah, you really want to do this. Yeah, we can tell. Let me go and discuss it with the other directors, and we'll come back to it." I said, "No, that's not a no. I like that. Before it's been a no, but now I've got let's think about this." So about a week later, we come back to him and said, "Right, let's have a word." "Okay, fair enough. What's going on?" He said, "Well, we've decided if you pay for the course, we'll pay for the accommodation and for the travel." "No, I decided that. You just agreed with it. Let's get this back into context again." I said, "All right, that sounds good to me." He said, "To help you out, because we know you've not got the money in your pocket, we'll pay for the course outright. You can book your accommodation up, and you travel, we'll do that as well. So we'll pay the whole lot at the moment, and you'll pay us back." I said, "Yeah, right, no worries." I said, "We want £200 a month back out of your wages for the next 10 months. I said, "No problem with what we're doing that. Can you afford it?" I said, "Absolutely, can take £200 out and give it back to you?" "Of course I can." I said, "Otherwise you're not going to make the course, because you're not going to make the deadline to pay the thing up." I said, "Great, no worries." So they said, "Okay, well, we'll start the payments on July. In July, you make your first £200 payment, we'll just take it out your bank and give you what's left." "Cool, no worries." He said, "You won't even see it go. You'll see on the pay slip, money minus £200. That's it." Fucking brilliant, I love that idea. That works for me 100% of the way down the road. July's pay slip came, there's no deduction on this. So I saw the managing director. I said, managing director, look, there's no deduction on my pay slip. Well, why not? So I don't know, you're in charge of that. I've agreed to pay it, you have taken it off. Oh, we're starting next month. This is August. I said, there's no deduction on my pay slip. Well, we're starting next month. In between time, he came back to me and said, I found out what's going on with your deduction. I said, oh, right, what's that? He said, well, legally, as an employer, we're not allowed to take money off of your account. I said, well, if that's what it is, it's not a problem. Pay me the money and I'll pay it back into your bank. You can do that, can't you, legally? Yeah, we can do that. I said, well, give me your bank code and bank account and sort code, and I'll pay that straight in. I'll put it on my payday. One day after payday, you'll get it back. Works for me. Brilliant. So part of my job was to organise the exhibitions. So we go to an event every year. It's called the Tow Show. The recovery industry will get together. They make new contacts. They sell new lorries and stuff. We talk about technology. I used to understand there with the guys who have banners, which I designed, marketed, all that lot. And in September's when they do the event. And I happened to go down to the store company to see what banners I've got and what I need to print out, because they get taxi, these things. And I was in there one day, and I knew the money had come in, I knew the money had gone back out to the bank, that payment had taken place. £200 had gone back to that company. And I was in there, foraging around, looking through piles of stuff. We were all rotten mess, because there was an arse hanging out, looking over a pile of boxes, looking for this stuff. And I heard this voice, very quiet. Jace, what? So I looked round, and then there was Steve. Steve was my managing director. He recently passed away, which is really bad news. Looked round, and he leaned into me to make sure no one was looking, and he said to me, don't make me any more than payments. I said, what? And he looked again, just to make double sure. Don't make me any more than payments. I said, well, I've got to pay this course off. He said, no, we'll sort that. Woohoo! Fantastic! Hotel paid. I was actually staying at the hotel. It's a training conference place in Milton Keynes. It's called King's School. So they've got all rooms there. So I booked into that. They pay for it. Travelled backwards and forwards. They pay for it. And he's just paid for my course. Fantastic! Went back on the course. Up to the tutor Dave. I said to him, he said, oh, I'm glad to see you back. I said, thank you very much. He said to me, you know, in all honesty, I didn't think you'd get past the diploma. Because you can look around the room, you can think this person's interested, this person's not interested, this person's interested, this person can do something with their life and use it, but this person's not. He said, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure if that was where you was going to stop with it, or if you can go any further with it. I was hoping you'd come back, and you did. That's good for you. I said, yeah, do you know what happened? He said, no. I told him the story. He said, see, the sales stuff works, doesn't it? I had sold them the course, and because I was talking to them continually, it ended up with me pushing the thing. And then they connecting benefits. Well, if he does that, he learns this, we get a gain from it. So we needed to pay for the whole thing. The Tow Show was a great success, by the way, which was really cool. But then I thought, you know what? I'm a practitioner, but I don't feel comfortable or confident yet to use it with clients. And I still want to be a trainer. And I know to do that, I've got to go and do master practitioner. So I won a couple of hypnotherapy courses, which I paid for. Did those, it was just kind of a sideline. Because my interest was in hypnotherapy as well. Back next was I managed to find somebody that was going to do the master practitioner course. Yeah. And they just happened to become a trainer with the same person that trained me on my practitioner. So both those two trained with the same guy, who later on I also trained with, which is really, really good. Which is actually the same guy that trained Tony Robbins. So that's really cool, really impressive stuff. So I managed to put myself on that. I took the time off for my holiday to do the course, so they couldn't say no. I funded the whole thing myself, so I couldn't say no. I attended Module 1, Module 2, Module 3. They sold the company, a new guy bought it, and he made me redundant. Shit. I've got to pay out here. Fair enough, I'll pay for the rest of my master practitioner and I'll pay for my trainer's course too at the same time. So down payment off rent. Sorting out a big I had to go all the way over to Gloucester to do my master practitioner course. It was 4 times, go to Gloucester, come back, 4 days at a time, 4 days, 4 days, 4 days, 16 days of master practitioner, as is a practitioner. So I come back, newly qualified master practitioner, wanting some clients. And I now feel comfortable and confident working with clients at practitioner level, so I can use my stuff with people. And I'm convinced the strategy hadn't yet been filled with practitioner. I knew my other course, my training course was coming up in July, was in July, so in February I posted it, actually yesterday, 3 years ago yesterday I graduated as an NLP Master Practitioner. How cool was that?
3 years.
3 years ago yesterday.
Yeah, something.
Posted it great.
This sounds sweet. This sounds for
Probably, yeah. The jumper.
jump.
My white jumper.
No, I jump.
Well, I laugh, it fits. Anyway, trainer's training was booked July, Yorkshire. You can't get no further north in England if you try. Lanarkshire, I think that's it. We run out of room then in Scotland. So it was 20-day training course. Right, 20-day training. Most NLP schools do their training in about 7 days. Well, my question is, what they miss out? They miss out loads of stuff. So my training was delivered by a guy called Dr. Wyatt Woodsmall. He is, as I said to you earlier, one of the principal trainers of Tony Robbins. He taught him what he knows. He's now one of the richest men in the world doing this stuff. He runs his own shows, his own workshops. He can fill a venue with 10 to 15,000 people at a time, paying anywhere between $600 and $4,500 at a time. So that's what he does. Wyatt is like a legend. He's got every bit of information you ever want about NLP. It's just in there somewhere. You can pull it out. Really good. So we went up there, did module 1, it was 8 days, and then we had to do module 2, which was 12 days in a row, but there was 2 days off in the middle for a break. It was so much hard work, it was crazy. I did module 1, I thought my head's going to blow up, I can't do module 2, it's just, I'm dead. Can't do it. My load is just too much for me to manage. But no, I want to be a trainer. That's what I'm going to do. I'm determined. If I get determined, I'll just do it. I mean, that stems back from school. When I was at school, I did my maths and English exams 5 times to get the qualification I wanted to do the next bit. I wanted to go to college to learn computer sciences. I did in the end, but I had to do my maths and English 5 times to get them. 4 for 1, 5 together. I ended up with a B and 2 C's. Anyway, ultimately, I went back for the second module, did the third module, and I qualified as a NLP Inolta trainer. So Inolta is International NLP Trainers Association trainer. So qualified trainer. I have another course to go, which we're back to the ladder. The next course is to go to master trainer. There's currently something like about just 20 or so NLP master practitioners from this school in the UK. If that. In the whole of the UK, there's a handful, about 20 or so master trainers. Soon, there'll be another one, but by then somebody else might have dropped off the ladder for whatever reason. So we'll stay about 20. I reckon it's going to take me probably 3 or 4 years to be at a point. There's certain criteria to meet and match. Like in order to do that course, I have to have certified something like 80 or 90 people in NLP at various levels to attend the course. If I haven't done that, I can't run the course because I'm not even a trainer. Let's say so. Yeah, my next step is to go and be master trainer. You have to write a report and contribute to it, make a unique contribution to NLP as well at the same time to certify. So it's not even just turning up. This isn't just turning up, it's just participation as well. All the NLP courses are getting involved. So that's where I was, that's where I am, and that's where I'm going. Any questions? Good.